Hi, this is going to be a pretty short tutorial on how to use bias tape to make a casing for your elastic applications on areas such as maybe the cuff of a shirt, around the bottom of a pant, just or maybe around a pocket, anywhere you want to have elastic that you're just going to feed the elastic through, not stitch it on. So here I'm using this bias tape. It's a single fold. Mine's 0.875 inches, and that varies, there's all sizes, and you can make your own actually. And the single fold just means that it's folded under one time on each side, single fold, okay? So I've gone ahead and pinned my bias tape to a curve. I'm using a little bit of a curve here. So that would be your first step, right? You're going to pin it all on the edge. And then I went ahead and did another little sample already. So you're going to sew at the 1/4 inch, which you can sew right next to that, right next to or in that fold that you see. So you are opening the fold, pinning it down, and then stitching at 1/4 inch all the way around. When you get to the area where it's a curve, you just, because this is bias, it'll work with you, okay, and you'll just move it around like that. All right, so now I've gone ahead and did this step. The next step is I want to make the casing. So the casing is basically like a little envelope for you to put the elastic in. So you see I'm going to fold it back. I'm going to fold back a little bit of my fabric to the side where the casing is. Hopefully you can see that. If you wanted to maybe bring it in even further, depending on what your end look is, you can do that too, as long as it's included in your seam allowance. You could bring it back a little bit further so that the tape doesn't come close to the edge. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now actually I'm going to keep it flatter because I only have a 1/2 inch elastic, so that if you did add that excess in, then you'd have to make sure that your elastic was the right size, okay, because that would become part of your casing. So I'm going to go ahead and just pin this edge in. And you can hand baste this after it's where you want it. But for the video, I usually don't do that because it just takes a lot of extra minutes in the video. But I would do it on my real garment. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep pinning. Now see, here's where my curve is, so I'm working with it a little bit with the bias. Okay, and then I'm going to go up here. Oops, I have to move this down a little. Okay, so I'll just do it to here so I don't spend too much time. Okay, and then I would just continue, doing the whole circle here. Okay, so I'm going to start at the end here. And you're just going to edge stitch it. Now this is where my curve is, so you see I have to make sure that there's no puckers. And just back stitch. Okay, so I went ahead and I did that. I missed a tiny spot when I was talking. Now I'm going to take my elastic. You're going to have your determined measurement that you already have and cut it, whatever that measurement is. I'm going to make mine, you're going to account for the fact that you want it to stretch in there. So just cut it. Okay. And now you're going to take a safety pin. Just want to get a safety pin out here. And I'm going to put the safety pin at the end of my elastic. And I'm just going to feed it through the little tunnel. See, we've made like a little tunnel in here. And you just want to make sure that it doesn't twist. So I'm just, the safety pin allows me to have something sturdy to push the elastic through with. Okay, and then at the end, I'm just going to pin my elastic down so that it doesn't pull while I'm trying to pull the elastic through the rest of the way. Okay, and I'm going to just pull it till I think I like the way it looks. And there you have your elastic with your elastic casing. And now you would just close your ends here and down on the other side. And if this was going to be, well, it depends on where it's being set into. You may connect the elastic or something. So this would be good for the bottom of a cuff, the bottom of a pair of pants, and a slight curve. If you're going to have a real curve, then you're going to watch the next video I do for the facing elastic casing instead of the bias tape. Okay? And that's it.